Don't mind me, just adjusting the camera in real time. Okay, hello my internet friends. It is I, Jay, bringing you a reading vlog. Just recorded a version of that, of this intro, but the fridge was running during that time and now it's off. So I'm like, well, why don't we just do it one more time before we go? I just wanted to give you a quick update on what I've been reading. I believe this is what we call in media res in the storytelling world, because I could tell you that we are starting this vlog at the top of the month and I'm starting to read with this book and blah blah blah, but in truth I've already read like 4 books already. So we're just gonna start the vlog here. So currently I'm in the middle of reading 5 Survive and House of Hunger. I don't remember the author's names, unfortunately. This is what happens when Jay doesn't script things before she turns on the camera. But 5 Survive is about a group of teenagers who are on their way to like a spring break, like class vacation, and on the way their RV breaks down, but they realize that it is not an accident. It was actually a trap set by a hitman who says that he will let them go, but first someone needs to tell him a secret, and he says that whoever this person is, they know who they are, and they know what the secret is. And so that mystery kind of like throws this little RV into chaos, and I'm really into it. I just hit the point where the kids have met the hitman and they're working through those feelings of, oh fuck, like what are we gonna do? And that is really fun. I'm also reading House of Hunger, which is a new adult novel about a young woman who decides to sell herself into an indentureship for a house of vampires, and it's kind of spicy and fun, and I'm kind of into it. It's like hitting like the right amount of spiciness and like a lot of danger. I don't know what this is, but like I really like stories where like they take place in like an enclosed like environment. Like I love a story about like an evil boarding school, like an evil harem, an evil like vampire house where you're the indentured servant of a hot like lady vampire. Shut up, I'm allowed to read what I want. I'm really enjoying the story so far. I will say, now that I think about it, I don't know what the plot is. I feel like I'm just kind of here for the vibes. Today, I think we're gonna go to Maserati, which is like, I think that's it. I think that's Maserati. And it's just like, this like mountain, in Bogotá. That's a really popular destination, and every weekend I tell myself I'm gonna go and then I get really tired and I don't. So today's the day. We're going to Maserati. We're gonna listen to books on the way, and yeah, and I will give you those updates as needed. Okay, yeah, let's go for a walk. Okay. Hello my internet friends. The fridge is off, so I have to take advantage of filming. So just a quick reading update. Don't mind the mobile camera. By the way, it's the same day. I just gone home, changed out of my sweaty clothes, and now I'm going to watch the Try Guys simulate period cramps. But anyway, let's talk about House of Hunger. So I finished it on my walk and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a spicy sapphic time. I retract my earlier statement. There is indeed a plot to this book. And that was just like me being dumb and not seeing like the obvious ending. Like, I don't know why I thought that like a book about a bunch of like women trapped in like a dangerous environment wouldn't end with them attempting to escape that dangerous environment, but anyway. So that was just like me being a dumbass. Yeah, so I really liked House of Hunger, 5 out of 5. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. It was a recommendation from another booktuber that I recently started following. Also, I'm further along in 5 Survive, and it's getting really good. These motherfuckers have secrets. It's really fun. You know, you can guess that everyone in this RV has like some kind of secret that they think is the one that the hitman is talking about. And it's really fun to like see everybody like air out their dirty laundry like unwillingly. There's one character who like revealed that the RV that they're driving might have been stolen. That was the funniest reveal because it was like this poor high schooler was like, no, okay, look, I don't want anyone to freak out, but this RV might be stolen. And they're like, what? And he's like, no, look, my uncle, who we rented this RV from, he sells vehicles, right? Well, some of those vehicles might have been illegally acquired. Why did you let you and your friends drive around in a stolen RV? General note is that like I think that when Red gets out of here, we need to pool our money together to get her a good therapist, because this poor girl has self-esteem issues. This poor girl is like, no, I don't matter. No one cares about me. No, I'm not smart or valuable. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girlie, I know you're like a high school senior, but you gotta bolster yourself up. Like, you gotta give yourself some positive affirmations. Also, this is a slight spoiler. No, this is a big spoiler for 5 Survive. So if you're interested in reading it, skip ahead again. I have timestamps. I always include timestamps for spoilers and stuff. So at one point, the sweet old couple drives by the RV and like knocks on the door, and they're like, hey, anybody in there? We saw that you were broken down on the side of the road. Do you need help? And then the hitman on the walkie-talkie's like, get rid of them. If you try to ask them for help, I will shoot them. I bet you can tell where this is going, huh? But they are the sweetest old couple, and it just breaks your goddamn heart. Like, I'm walking through the streets of Bogotá, like my face like scrunched up in pain. Because I know what's gonna happen to these poor fuckers. They reveal like, oh, we were just driving back from the hospital. Our daughter just gave birth to our first grandchild. And you're like, no, don't tell me all these things because I know it's gonna happen. And then one of the kids in the RV, Oliver, we hate Oliver, okay? You don't need to know a single thing about Oliver except that he fucking sucks. Oliver writes a note, even though the hitman explicitly said, do not attempt to get help. Oliver writes a note, tries to slip it into Don's hands, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Red's trying to tell him no, like, let them go, we can't risk it. And Oliver's like, this is our one chance. He's like, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna angle Don in such a way that he won't, like, the hitman won't see me handing off this note. And I'm like, you don't fucking know that. You're a fucking child, and this is an actual hitman. You think he doesn't know how to tell when someone's discreetly trying to pass a note to someone? I was screaming, like, let Don and Joyce go. They have a baby grandchild. I was gonna kill him. And of course, oh my god, this motherfucker shakes Don's hand, has the note. Don notices the note, realizes these poor kiddos might be in actual trouble, tries to pass it off. Joyce has no idea. Joyce is chilling. Joyce is so happy. Joyce is like, well, you kids, like, stay safe out there, blah, blah, blah. And then they go, and then Joyce gets shot in the head, and then poor Don gets shot in the head. And I'm like, you motherfucker, Oliver. You motherfucker, we knew this was gonna happen. I understand that if you are in an actual hitman situation and a lovely, like, couple comes by, like, I understand the temptation. I understand that from a real life perspective, but from a narrative perspective, you know what I would think? I would think, hey, I'm a dumbass teenager who's never, like, been in a hitman situation before. This hitman is probably extremely experienced. It can probably tell when someone is discreetly trying to get help, and therefore I shouldn't do that because poor John and Joy seem like good people. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. I would have made a different decision. There's a chance that I would have been wrong in that situation, and there's a chance that Oliver would have been wrong. We make choices based on the information we have at the time, and as a third party watching a narrative film play out in her brain, I had more information than Oliver. I'm just gonna show him a little grace, even though I hate him. I hate him. I hate him so much. I understand that he is necessary as an antagonist, but I don't like him. I'm still having a great time. Sometimes when like these reveals happen, I'm like in a coffee shop or whatever, and like my face just like gets like vocally very excited. I'm like, you know. Yeah, I'll give you an update next time I feel the need to. Okay, good night. Ooh, girly, ooh, girly. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon, because I don't want to risk something else interesting happening in the night, then I have to film it. But like, ooh, girl, we just got another secret. Oliver thought that like there was this dude who was harassing his girlfriend Raina. The guy punched him, and then Oliver punched him back, but he clearly punched him harder, knocked this poor boy out, and that poor boy later died of internal bleeding. And now we just found out that he wasn't just some like guy harassing Raina. He was her lover. Yo, I'm out here just like watching Oliver's relationship fall apart, and like, very exciting. Okay. We'll talk later. Bye. Buenos dias, my internet friends. It's like 7 in the morning. Let me tell you, Colombia forces you to be a morning person because the sun shines bright at like 6 or 7 a.m. And you're a night owl, and yet like the Lord is like shining a flashlight in your face like, hola, buenos dias. Get up, girly. I tried to go to sleep early last night because I knew this was gonna happen. And I was like, you know what? I don't think we should fight it anymore. I think we should try to become a morning person. And then in the morning, we can have more time to edit YouTube videos before we have to work. I just wanted to give you an update. I finished 5 Survive yesterday. I actually did film some wrap-up thoughts the moment I finished it, but they were probably incoherent, and I did that thing where I just kind of like put the camera somewhere and tried to sit in the frame, but I didn't really give much thought to what I was saying or what the frame looked like. So we'll see if I use that footage at all. For 5 Survive, I really liked it. I loved like the claustrophobia of the RV. I think like my one major complaint is that Red needs a therapist because that girl has self-esteem issues. And I understand that, like, you know, as the book went on, she became more confident in herself and all that stuff. But it was at times annoying to read her be so, like, self-deprecating, especially since she was so competent. And every moment that she doesn't speaks, like, just allows for Oliver to babble about nothing. And I don't want to knock this against the book. This isn't a point against the book. But I hate Oliver. I know that we're supposed to hate him. I know that's his purpose, but I couldn't stand him. It was to the point where I had to take breaks from the book because I couldn't listen to his voice anymore. And yeah, that's just a personal preference for me. I cannot stand like bully characters, especially those who just actively sabotage the plot. And I understand that they're necessary. But part of me is like, why can't we have 6 like conflict avoidant introverts stuck in an RV together? But anyway, I liked it. I loved all the twists at the end. I felt like the overarching narrative of the story surrounding Red and how she ended up in that RV, because spoiler alert, she plays a big role in why this RV was captured as the main character. You know, I really liked how all of those layers came to light, and that was a really fun reveal. It was so funny, like as I was reading it hit the point where all the twists started like coming out like dominoes, and I was so frustrated because I was working, and I have this rule against like, you know, doing creative stuff while I work. I have like a very hard separation, but I was like, if I don't listen to this book right now, I'm just gonna be thinking about it the whole time I'm working. We might as well just do both. We might as well just get it over with, and I'll be more productive because I'm not thinking about that other thing that I really want to be doing. So I really like that this book just like gave me that like itch that you get when you're reading a really good book and you're like, I have to know what happens. Finally, to close out these wrap-up thoughts, I just have a couple like last minute reflections on House of Hunger. I really did like House of Hunger. I found it to be a really fun, spicy time. I was reading reviews from people who had like mixed feelings about it. And one thing that I kind of agree with is that the pacing was a little weird. Like, I think that part of the reason why I was confused as to what the plot was that I was 60% of the way through the book and nothing really had happened to indicate that the main character had a problem that she needed fixing. Obviously, she's like, you know, like getting her blood sucked by vampires, but that was what she had signed up for. Like, it felt like this was fine, you know what I mean? But the reveal happens like later in the book that bloodmaids that are employed at this house, at the specific house, are often just like killed before their indentureship ends. The Countess there, her hunger for blood is just so insatiable that she just wastes girls away within a year of them arriving. And then the plot becomes them escaping. It's unclear to me if that is the case for all the houses or just this specific house, because Marion like has vague memories of seeing like retired bloodmaids. It's like looked down upon, but those women are rich afterwards, and she has a memory of seeing some of them. I guess it was unclear if it was like a scam, let all of these northern like blood sucking houses were running against like these poor like girls, or if like there are bloodmaids who are lucky enough to be released from their indenture and, you know, live rich lives afterwards. It's just that the girls that come to the House of Hunger do not, and it's not regulated in a way that would protect those girls. So that was my month in books. This was a great reading month for me, surprisingly. Like, no promises on my reading month for August. We have no idea what that month has in store. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next reading vlog.